You're good? Sounds good. Everything else?
I don't know yet. Give me a sec. I've lost everything. Why am I so zoomed in?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm very zoomed in. Like my head's already big. It doesn't need to be any bigger. Okay, so I now have a lack of a big head, so that's a good sign.
Like a big head. Well, in one way. But
Oh yeah, well,
Dorks Down Under.
we all good? We all ready?
yes, I have my snacks.
You got snacks? That's what monstrosity is that? I can see what it is, but that's not no
Jaffa cakes are the
no
best.
no. That's not Jaffa cakes. That is a cheap knockoff, is what that is, and you
That's
know
the
it.
that's the Audi Jaffa cakes. They're the only ones we can get. And then I also got sponsored by a passion fruit smash
Passion
sour
fruit
beer.
smash. Wow.
Yeah, I got a 4 pack, so this should last us 4 weeks. So for everybody watching, this should be here for the next 4 weeks because that's how much Derek drinks.
No, bless you, Derek. Well, unless I'm there with you, and then suddenly you pick up the pace.
Yeah. That being said, though, poor Jordan. The last time we were together and we did drink together, I walked in after a harrowing day of wedding stuff just to be thrown a beer, and then I'm like, and I think I finished it in a mouthful. That's
Yep.
never a
No,
good
no,
sign.
and there was already immediately another one the second you
I
down that
know.
one. So I
I
think
must
'cause
say
I'm,
I was very very much appreciative because it was
I
rough
know
as hell.
I am the guy that everybody needs when they're busy and stressed out. I'm that guy. That's who
Yeah,
I am.
that day definitely.
Yes. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dogs Down Under. This is Jordan, all the way from New Zealand, and we're joined by Des, all the way in Australia. We are a show that discusses anything and everything that's going on in our lives, generally something dorky. And you can find us available on Spotify as well as YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see what happens from there. So, we've got a few things to discuss this week. Mainly the big one is the TikTok ban is now here.
So it is official. I knew
So-
they were going ahead with it, but I
Yes.
didn't really know much about it. Like I just kind of thought it was going to be one of those.
There
things
is
where,
that. We're gonna go over the
We're gonna
details shortly. But how has your week been, Des? Have you been having a good time?
Yeah, I've been good. We pulled out all the weeds in the backyard that took poor Cherish ages because she decided that I don't know whether she has ADHD, but she just got this focus. I'm going to do it Friday,
Yep.
and she pulled out all the weeds in the backyard, which we filled our entire green bin, and then the other poor girl is very very sore today, to the point where we chucked her in the bath with some Epsom salts.
I'll tell you now, a little bit of advice I will actually give you. Okay, this ditty's for free, right? If you're doing the weeding and you want to maximize the room in your bin, put them on the driveway to let them dry out for the day.
Oh, okay.
They lose all the moisture, especially on a hot sunny day. They lose all the moisture, and then you throw them into the bin, and you save about nearly 30% of your bin space.
Well, we've got one of those compactor things. So what we did is
okay.
we compacted the shit out of them.
Oh,
Then
okay.
we left the pile out there, but that wouldn't fit. And then we compacted them. Then we put some more, and we compacted them. And then what we did is we left them in the garage. And then as it starts to lower, we keep filling it up.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right, okay.
Because
All
luckily
right.
the garage is quite warm, so that works as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh, mine's baking in the day, especially in the summer heat. So I always have, I'll leave every day at the moment. I'm leaving it slightly ajar during the day, just
Yeah.
to get the air circulating. So that's really good. In fact, one thing I did today, I'm very proud of myself today, because we rearranged the garage a couple of weeks ago to maximize the space. And it's amazing when you just take everything out and put everything back in a new way, you get more space. But my workbench that I have not been able to use for the last couple of months because it's the dump. Everything gets dumped on it. Okay, that's the way
Naturally.
it's the way it is. Everything gets dumped on it. So I tidied that up today. But now I have no excuse not to tidy my office, which I'm putting off as much as possible, as you can
the
imagine.
wife's well excited for that, I'm sure.
Yes, well, now that I've actually got room in the garage, I need to kind of do this office at some point, and so yeah, I don't think my excuses are going to fly much longer, realistically. So I'm going to have to actually pull one out of the thing, pull my thumb out of my ass, and actually get it done. But yeah, but no, for this week, I decided, you know what was really fun? Because obviously I've got this lovely pain in my side from my hairline fracture. I thought, you know what would be more fun? Why not go get cut up a little bit?
Oh shit! Was you get a mole removed or
I
something?
got my fun button removed, as the family nicknamed it. So yeah, I got that removed.
Fun button. What?
Oh, it was because when I always had a mole there, and it was like small, like the size of a pea when I moved here. but then it blew up to about the size of a chocolate button, sort of thing, over the last 6 years. Over the last 6 years, it wasn't like 6 months. You know, we're talking 6 years. So I was like, yeah, I need to get it removed now because before it starts turning dark and you know, just to get it removed. And I've had a mole removed before on my leg, right? And I remember having the local for that and how much that stung, right?
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, have you had it before?" I said, "Yeah, I remember. I know it's stingy." She went, "Well, yeah, given the size of it, it's going to hurt a little bit more." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." I said, "Do you mind if I look at my phone while you do it? Just, you know, distract the brain. You know, we're going to keep it like that." And she went, "Yeah, that's fine." So I'm sat there, I'm just scrolling, and then suddenly I'm like, "Oh, just let me know when you've just." Oh God. Jesus, it felt like she was digging for treasure with that needle. I'll tell you that was painful, brother. God, it was really...
Cherish had one removed like underarm, like literally underarm.
Oh,
and when they pulled it out, the root was literally like this big. They put local anesthetic in it, and then they dug, and then they had to cut a little bit more. And this girl was just like to the point where even Cherish, who has an amazing pain threshold, was just like you could see she was wincing, like it was in pain.
Honestly.
And then they eventually got it. When they pulled it out, the root was like literally this big. So it was like this tiny, there was tiny thing on it, like this little black thing.
Drilled all the way down. Poor girl.
But it had grown a bit. But like anytime she lifted her arm or reached for something or did everything, it would just pull. And she's like,
I tell you what, I have discovered that, because obviously, like, my boy, he's a bit ambidextrous with a lot of things, right? Okay. And we've always found it a bit weird. Apparently, we've discovered it's me. I'm the problem. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Okay? Because I didn't realize that apparently I do so much crap with this left hand. It's not even funny. I go to reach into cupboards and everything else, which Ellie was like, hang on. So wait a minute. You mean you reach for the cupboard with one hand and grab the glass with another? I went, yeah. She went, you're weird. I went, that's not weird. That's normal. But apparently I'm weird. I'm the weird one.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I found that as well. Like, the first bar I ever worked was set up left-handed.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. So I bartended left-handed. So when I would come in, I would change things and stuff.
Yeah.
And they would always look at me strange, like, why? And I'm just like, that's just how I always did it. But yeah, it works out that that's what it was. It was just that I had worked in a bar that had been set up completely by left-handed.
I mean, maybe that's it as well, because I worked on bars from glass collector all the way up from 14 to like 21. So maybe the fact that, I don't know. But yeah, it was just, I've suddenly discovered that I do so much. So yeah, so right now I'm in pain between this thing, which is getting better. It's not perfect though, because I can't lie down on my back. Still.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm still struggling with that. God. You don't know. You don't appreciate how nice it is to lie on your back until you can't do it anymore.
Oh man, I remember just when I bruised them that time, and I was just like, just everything hurt, like the world hurt, and that's what I would always say. I'm like, why does everything hurt? Why does the world hurt?
Yeah, pretty much. But so this shoulder's out of action. I am picking up the gym as of tomorrow because I've been stitched up now for a few days, so I'm allowed to go back to the gym. Because my doctor I was saying curiously. I know, obviously, I've got to keep it dry for, I assume, a day or two. He went, yeah, 2 days will be fine. 2 days, and then you go, oh, God. Oh, how not? It's summer, not having a shower every day. Horrible.
That feels weird.
Did not like it. Do not recommend. But
it feels weird doing that. Like, I just
want to get back to the gym because I was back at the gym, even with my fracture, because I know I can't stop. I've got to, especially it's going to help build the muscle and keep things good.
Yeah.
But then, so like, trying to do stuff with this arm is bloody impossible. So I'm probably just have to double up on the cardio. I think I'll be on the treadmill for longer. I think, which is
it's good, man.
Which I'm not looking forward to. I don't like cardio.
It's not a bad thing. It helps.
I'm a natural dwarf. I'm a natural sprinter, and that's it. I'm not a marathon runner. Okay,
I'm not an elf. Man, I was built like a dwarf, and obviously New Year's Eve when we went to visit my old housemate Zoe again, she told the story about how I have ghetto legs.
Yeah.
Because she used to always pay me out because if anybody has actually seen me in person, I wear my jeans, or what my people say, my jeans quite low. And they're always a bit baggy, normally because I've got little chubby legs, so I find that I have to wear them a little bit. I have to get them big and I can't be bothered taking them up, so I'm like, I'll just let them hang. Not a problem. But she was telling the story about how she was like, Derek, pull your pants up. I'm like, babe, my pants are on my hips. And I grabbed her finger and touched my hips, and the belt was sitting perfectly on my hips. She's like, what? She goes, your hips are there. She goes, you don't have ghetto pants. You got ghetto legs. And then when she got down to my leg height, and we're about the same height, Zoe and I, like she's a tall girl. But when we got on, she was at shoulder length. She's like, if you had long legs, you'd probably be like 6'2", 6'3". And I'm like, damn it. And then obviously then I had to Google how much to break my legs. And yeah.
No, Jesus, don't do it.
Oh
God,
man.
oh man, I've seen people. I've seen what that procedure looks like, and that's an absolute no from me.
Oh my God, it's brutal. Like having a
Jesus.
look at it, it looks like, so if anybody hasn't seen it, what they actually do is they
Yeah.
notch out your legs. They notch out, i.e. break your legs and actually remove, and then actually separate the bone and fill
Yeah.
it with coral. Or sometimes what they do, they just break your leg and they put something in there. Normally coral because the calcium will fuse it into it.
Yeah.
And then what you do is every day you have to turn these things that stretch you like a couple of millimeters.
Ugh.
But it's over like a 5 or 6 months thing. So you're in traction for 5 or 6 months, and it is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And then obviously after that, I think you can grow like 5 or 6 inches, but then you have to keep up working out and high calcium diet and different things because otherwise those areas will be a lot more subtle for breaking. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I know I'm short, but I'm like, I'm okay with being short versus doing that because that is just like, no.
Yeah, no,
No.
it's an absolute no from me. Actually, funny enough, you mentioned diet because I'm going to be going on to a new one starting not starting February, starting March because obviously I've got things going on until then, and I'm going to be doing this carnivore diet because I've been looking into it for. I'll tell you now.
Just be very careful because it's super high in saturated fat.
Yep, no,
and
I know.
the saturated fat is horrific for you.
No, I about it. Luckily, I spoke to my doctor about it and all that, and yes, he has the same concerns. But all my blood work and everything's good. He says there's no reason for him to warn me that I can't do it from a sense sort of thing. But because one, I am going back to England for a wedding this year, sort of thing. So I now have a motivation goal, and I've realised that I need a goal to work on, sort of thing, to suddenly lose weight, and I want to try it out. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, at least I've tried. I'm only going to try it for at least the first 30 days, which is obviously what's normally recommended. If I can do the first 30 days and I'm on track, great. If I'm not, then stop it.
Yeah,
I'll go back
I was going to say, because I noticed that also with vegan has
Yep.
the same kind of thing where at the
Yep.
start you feel really good, you feel fantastic, you're losing weight because your body's still getting used to it. And then
Yep.
what happens is then everything's, all the deficiencies and different things come down. Just make sure that they look into also getting you different vitamins and stuff.
Yeah,
that
no,
the body
I've got
can
my.
work with.
I've already went and bought the vitamins I need. So I've got the men's multi. It's designed for the keto one diet because obviously keto has a very similar problem sort of thing. So I'm good on that front. But I'll tell you what, the one thing I've struggled with is because I've realized what I've started to do is starting to cut down on my sugar. Okay, so I went and bought an electrolyte drink that's salt based, obviously to make up my own drinks because I used to get this. I always before I used to have the Masashi drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Low calorie, high sugar, and all that. Great for the gym, and I loved it. And I'll tell you one thing: I'm struggling without sugar. I really, oh god, it's killing me. It was killing me.
I think because you're probably fine because that sugar was also helping drive you at the gym, where you get this boost of sugar and then you'd use that to ride it out.
Honestly, because I've switched out now. I've been off that for now 2 weeks. And the first week was a nightmare. And second week's not been much better. But I've suddenly realised I actually don't need the sugar. Suddenly I've realised I'm not taking as much sugar now, sort of thing, and I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible. Apart from the mustache cookies this week. Apart from that
Mustache cookies?
I sent you the photos. Do you remember those special cookies that I got?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
So Mustache is this cookie company in New Zealand, and she's become TikTok famous. So we're getting back to TikTok, and she's done loads of things throughout the years. Like last year she did this Pokemon collaboration one. So she made Pokeball cookies, stuffed cookies, and they looked great. Cool. I never got to them ones, but she's now opening up a store and she's bought a new van. She wanted to do some trial tours to sort of feel out and see if people would buy. And she announced Hamilton. And I was like, great, what day? And I thought, great, I'm on a half day because I'm going to get this cut out. Belter. Happy days. So I was like, great, I'll go do that. Go pick up some. And oh my God. So the one she was featuring was the creme brulee cookie. This is honestly, it's like...
I didn't realise it was called Mustache because I think you just sent me a box of the cookies. I didn't say...
It's called Mustache.
Oh, no, yes.
.co.nz, yeah. So basically, it's like, imagine having a cup made of cookies, okay? And then she's filled it with the vanilla custody cream thing, and then she's put the sugar on and burnt it on. Oh my God, I tell you now, it is amazing. It is fantastic, and I highly recommend. If Des gets his ass over to New Zealand, I am buying some so he can be delivered. Because
Well, it is weird though, because like looking at the pictures from a chef's idea, what it looks like they've done is almost made like a tart shell from biscuit.
Yes.
Then it looks like what they've done is they put the filling in, and then they've put whatever, and then they put either, especially with the other ones that had the cookies, and then they put more cookie on top of the filling. So they're probably about an inch and a half thick, or
Yeah. No,
or like, I don't know. I don't know for our Americans.
They were a good 2.5 to 3 inches tall.
They look massive.
They and they were about oh god, I can't think of a good about 5. I would say an inch and a half round, an inch and a half.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah, they were good.
I will put it up on screen so people can see it if Jordan doesn't mind me using his because I don't want people to obviously fall in love with his hands and then the hand model takes over the podcast. But
honestly,
it's when all of a sudden this foot comes up next to you and you do this. I'm like, oh, I don't know how he did that. I'm scared.
Honestly,
but they do. They look amazing, but they look like.
I picked up 3 of them, and I picked up an assorted box because we were having a sleep of 9 with of cookie pies, they call them. Essentially, they're stuffed cookies, and they were also amazing. Right. The best thing is I've looked at their website, and they do cookie cakes and everything else. So I already know what we're getting for my birthday this year. I can't wait. It's gonna be melted.
Yeah, as long as they're actually open, because that could be the worst thing.
Oh, I will get that thing. Apparently, they can freeze it, sort of thing. So I could probably order it for like maybe 2 weeks before December or the week before. Have it maybe freeze it, or it's good in the fridge for a week. We'll be fine. We'll make it work.
That's all right then.
But I tell you, the cookies were good. The cookies went down very well. We had a sleepover with Eddie. Had a sleepover with some of his friends, and they went down extraordinarily well. Funnily enough.
Yeah, I must say though, they are kind of insane, and
so shout out to Moustache.
When he showed me that, I was just like, what the hell? Because
But I have to tell you this, right? The poor girl, right? Okay, so obviously this is a new truck for her, okay? And I don't know how I managed this. I banged first spot in line, okay? So I don't know how I managed to get there just in time. But once I was waiting, like it was just like 2 minutes before she arrived, and then suddenly people started queuing up behind me. I was like, okay, great. Fabulous.
Oh, so you just happen to be like, oh, I'll go out there. They open at 9. I'll get there about then. And
the truck was about to come up the road, and I saw it. I thought, all right, I got out of my car, and then I went and stood in the shady spot because it was a blistering hot day. So I stood in a shady spot, but then suddenly I didn't realise there was all these other people in cars around me who were doing the same thing, and suddenly they're like, crap, go get in line. So people ran to get behind me.
Oh, so somehow you just managed to get first spot.
Yeah, and I managed to get first spot because of it. I was like, sweet, great, no worries. But so she pulled in, she got the truck in, and she was like, she got out and she was like, hi everyone, and we're all like, hey, crack on. And obviously, I was stood in a way that I could see her as she opened the back truck door to jump in the back, which is fine. Yeah. She opened it ever so slightly, and because I'm a nosy bitch, right? I'm a nosy bitch, so I wanted to look in. Naturally. She opened it and immediately shut the door. And I realised why, because the fridge door on the inside of the truck was open. Yeah. Product. So she was stood looking at the door, and she just shut, and she's like, and obviously I immediately know what her brain's doing. She's gone, fuck. She's
fuck.
Because the worst bit is suddenly, you've done that. She's in this situation where she's opened the door, she's realised what's happened, she shut it, and then realised, because I think must have been at least, I reckon, about 30 or 40 of us at this point queued up. Not to mention, I would say customers, maybe, there might have been more, but still it was like, wow. And I felt so bad for her. She was like, so she called her colleague around, and she was like, and she opened the door a crack and showed her, and she was like, oh God. And
was it all of them, or was it just
no? So it was one fridge. It was one fridge that was bad.
Why? Like that's the thing though. Like I've been lucky enough to work in hospitality and food trucks especially. Like I've always said to everyone, put locks on doors and close them. They're like, why? I'm like, because even if you jam something against them, Bungie called them, they're not going to do it. Even if you just put the lock in and just close it with the key in it, just to keep them closed.
But basically, so of course she announces it, and we all said, don't worry, you can salvage something. We will happily, We're here to buy. We're not here. Do not worry about it. They do not need to look perfect. We are happy.
Yeah.
So she started. Basically, she was giving the smushed ones away for free. She called them smush cookies, and she was giving them away for free with your order and stuff like that, which was fine. I mean, but yeah, I was first in line. I bought, and literally, she made a TikTok about it, and I commented saying, "Listen, I was first in line. The creme brulee is amazing, and I cannot wait to order it again. Blah blah blah. Please keep up the tour. Please come back round to Hamilton. We would love to have you again. Blah blah blah. And X Y and Z.
That's insane.
And she actually responded to me on TikTok. She said, "Can I just say thank you for your encouragement? Because I was about ready to cry." But the fact that you all said, and especially you said, do not worry about it. Take a breath. Salvage what you can, obviously. Oh, because I work in food. I've done food safety. I know anything that's been on the floor of that truck cannot be sold. But no. I immediately know because everything was on trays, and you just knew that at least 75%, at least half the trays or 70% of the stock would have been fine. But of course, she was panicking. It's like, just breathe, take a moment, salvage what you can.
Jordan's also like, I'm first, so I don't give a fuck.
And absolutely, I was walking out of there with cookies no matter what. I'll tell you that right now. I was there for cookies. But yeah. But
it would have been so funny because the other people are like, okay, I guess I'll get a couple of free smush cookies because there's Jordan's walking around with fucking boxes going pop out.
I didn't get any smush cookies, which is fine. I didn't want smush cookies, and I was happy to pay and got everything I wanted, and I loved it. Yeah. It was fantastic. But she responded back to me, which was really nice on TikTok, and she said, "Oh my God, thank you so much for your words that morning, because I think I would have struggled if the first few customers had a massive negative reaction. I think I would have had a problem." I went, "No, it was a great service. Do not worry about it. Keep it up." But yeah, she said, "I think I'm investing in a lock." Because the door was locked. She reckons what happened is because obviously she had a couple of thousand cookies, and obviously these cookie ones are filled. So obviously there's extra weight to them. So she reckons that the fridge was stocked and so much weight pressed on the door that it then jammed up, it shot open sort of thing. And then obviously she's gone around the corner and then...
God.
But I thought to myself, surely you might have heard something, unless they had the radio rocked right up or something like that. Sort of
but you can hear, more than likely too, though, and with a lot of those things, the trays will fit right up to the end of the plastic thing. So you always have like an inch or two.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing the trays were slamming into him, so she's just thinking, cool, and not heard it. But oh my God,
maybe, yeah, but yeah, poor girl. Anyway, so it was that thing. But that was a funny story for this week. But yeah, so anyway, let's get to the main thing. TikTok ban, right? Are you aware of why it was banned? I probably need to, or maybe I should just give some context for anyone who's been under a rock.
Because TikTok is obviously a Chinese company. And
no, it's not. Right. Okay, I need to give some context.
From what I've been told, so this is what I've been told. It's a Chinese company, and a Chinese company that got banned was using similar software for that and was seen to be taking user data. Mm-hmm. Yes. So then they decided to get it.
Yeah.
But I got told that's what it was. It was Chinese, and that was it.
Let me paint a picture, ladies, boys and girls. Okay, so... basically, obviously, TikTok got released 4 years ago, started off, and then suddenly blew up because people realised it's like Instagram Reels, it's like, but it's a bit more user-friendly and everything else, and blah, blah, blah. And you were getting interesting stuff, because the amount of stuff I've learned from TikTok, quite frankly, is shocking. I kind of feel like...
wasn't Instagram Reels and that weren't a thing until
TikTok came along and they were trialling them, but it wasn't quite hitting the mark. And then suddenly TikTok blew on the field and they realised, we've got to step it up. And that's kind of what happened. So, basically, obviously, the majority of all you probably on the platform, the highest number of users was America. Shock horror. But, of course, America being America... somebody may have suggested, saying, hang on, is this company foreign? What are they doing with our data? Blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. Okay, right, fine. So they hold in the CEO of TikTok into, that government panel thing where they have X amount of senators and they basically will grill the person. I can't think what they call it. Is it an inquiry? An inquiry. Yeah, that's it. An inquiry. So they dragged him in for an inquiry.
They're always funny because it's always these 60-year-old men going,
yeah.
So if I watch TikTok on my phone, can you then steal all my bank accounts and make phone calls?
Yes.
Like, no.
No,
It's an app. We can only do things
exactly.
inside the app.
Basically,
Can you change my home internet? You're like, you do not know what you're talking about. How are you the head of this inquiry?
The entire inquiry was quite frankly a joke, because basically it was questions like that of, so when TikTok is on my phone, you have access to my Wi-Fi. Well, yes, because if you've connected to your Wi-Fi, yes, we do. It's like, oh, but you can access my personal details through that. No, that's not how this works. But basically, and one of the questions was really funny. One of the senators, and this just proves how much of a lack in education, especially a worldwide geography, shall we say, was they asked him where he's from, where's and he's like, oh,
is that where that's from?
Yeah, and he said, oh, I'm from Singapore. And he went, and you have you're married to an American? Yes, my wife is American. Yes, and our kids are American. Do you have dual citizenship? No, I do not. I have not applied for it. And he went, okay. So Singapore is part of the Chinese Republic. And he went, no. Singapore is Singapore.
Oh, is that where that's from?
But yeah,
I remember seeing it online and just being like, are these guys idiots? And they're like, I fought for my country against China, but you're Chinese. No, I'm Singaporean.
You're Singaporean, yeah. So the entire thing is that these American senators have it in their heads, right? The entire thing is that apparently this is a trap by the Chinese to steal information out of America, one thing at a time, which I can understand, given the heightened nature that America is, that they may be concerned about all this public information being put out there, especially because TikTok is, they're everywhere throughout the US, and they are filming and doing everything else and uploading and everything else, and that's completely fine. But it is hilarious how they had this idea. So, anyway, they put this ban into effect. TikTok have been trying to fight it and everything else and get it appealed. They went to the Supreme Court and blah, 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 blah. And saying it's affecting the is it the First Amendment or Second Amendment, whichever amendment, the right to free speech is basically
Second Amendment.
Yeah, the Second Amendment, whichever one it was. But basically, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the government, saying no, the ban needs to go forward. Blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. So apparently, it's rather than the only other way it could be saved is that if TikTok sold it to an American company, and then blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. Because obviously, Singapore has the servers and everything else, and it's in the cloud or what. I don't know the exact deal, but basically they said if you sell it to an American company, which obviously all the tech moguls are like, yes, please, we want this because it's a moneymaker. It's huge. It's ready to go. But he's decided, he's like, no, if they're going to force this to be banned, then I won't sell. Which, tell you what, kudos to that man, because he could probably walk away without his kids or kids not having to worry about money for the rest of the days. Let's be honest. But
I know on Twitter, because I'm on Twitter now, just checking it, and they did say that it was going to be like the valuation is $30 billion for someone to buy it, and somebody has offered them like a healthy amount. I think it was like 21 or 19 or something, and you're just like,
no.
What the hell? Like,
the fact that I the balls to the man, the fact that he's gone, no, it's not for sale. Because obviously he doesn't want to sell. He wants to be CEO. He wants to run it in. He wants to run it in his way, which is completely fine. I respect the man for it. So anyway, now we get on towards the ban. So obviously it's the week of the ban, and things are cracking along and everything else. We're waiting for the appeal decision and blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. So Americans have decided to maybe rebel slightly. Shall we call it a rebel? Rebel is probably a good word for it. So, obviously, there is concerns that China apparently are infiltrating, stealing data and everything else. Fine. So, someone, I don't know who started this idea, but suddenly Red Note, which is essentially TikTok, but it is the Chinese equivalent. It is China-owned. In fact, when you apparently sign up, you have to sign the T's and C's, which apparently declare that you align yourself with all Chinese Communist Party morals and everything. Yeah. It is like full on. Like it's not hiding in behind the sea. It's not hiding behind the sea.
Is it a TikTok? Is it TikTok clone that they've literally got? Like China's literally gone.
But China, the Chinese government owns
about
it.
Us.
Yeah, it's the full.
Or everything that you've said that or claim that TikTok is, we're going to do.
Yeah,
just to be like.
Yeah, but basically, you've got to follow their strict rules and everything else. But it because obviously in China they don't have access generally to the rest of the world. So, they make do what they get, all right, okay, which is understandable. Now, so the Americans, a lot of American people, and it shot up to number one straight away. So Red Note became the number one most downloaded thing. And it's interesting because basically some people were signing up using their social security number as a big FU to the government. Because they said, screw it, if they think China's going to get my data, they can have it. So, yeah. So, and now it's hilarious how...
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for saying screw you to the government.
Stick it to the man,
idiots. Yeah. But, like, that's just worrisome. Like, I'm like...
Yeah. So what's really funny is, so of course, so suddenly some senators have realised, oh crap, have we done the wrong thing here? Shock horror, yes. So of course they are now trying to get Red Note banned because they definitely know Red Note is a Chinese
everything that they've claimed.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But of course the problem is they can't backpedal on the ban, on the TikTok ban. So they're now looking for a loophole and everything else, and they're trying to do something, but it's really stupidly funny. It really is. And the best thing is that actually the CEO jumped on and did a video the other day that I did see, where he wanted to say, obviously, the Supreme Court ruling's finalised, blah, 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 this is what's happened. But he says, however, I actually want to put a shout out, and this will probably split the place, but I do want to thank President Trump because he's contacted me and he's saying he's trying to work. He's going to work with the Supreme Court and officials and see about reversing the ban because he agrees that it's not right, sort of thing. So
we're out.
I don't want to say Trump's doing a good thing here, but you never know. We can't be too hasty on the decision, but still. It's the fact is, even Trump has said that he reckons the only reason he got elected is because of the social media, all the social media platforms. Because his son Barron, is it Barron, if I remember right?
Yeah, the young one.
Yeah, the young one. He actually said you've got to do this on social media and do this and do that, and he actually attests that the only reason he really probably got re-elected is because his son's so in touch with what's going on in the world, and so
Have you seen that son? That son looks like he's like if he wasn't rich and Trump's son, like he looks like he's a school shooter. Barron looks...
Yeah, I could see what you're saying. To be fair, it's either a school shooter or going into a male model. It's one or the other, realistically. Sort of thing.
I feel like he's like a couple of comments away from just like being like, bro, stay home from school today.
Yeah.
And then you see him on the news.
Yeah.
Like he is...
Yeah. But no, it is... yeah. So basically the entire... But of course, literally the last 2 or 3 days... All I have seen is, because I do follow some American content creators, and you're seeing all these farewell videos, and it's like, they're crying, and I understand why they're crying, because, of course, they've obviously got other social media outlets, like Instagram and Twitter and any of the 5 of a million other, apps that I don't have, because I can't be arsed.
Yeah.
But, of course, they're crying because, they said, oh, it's going to be goodbye from us and all this and blah, blah. And here's a secret that we never shared on this channel and blah, blah. And I get that. Because I know why they're crying is because they know that the majority of people aren't going to go follow them on other apps because they know that most people aren't on other apps. Sort of thing.
And that's the weirdest thing. That was one thing that I've noticed. Like there was a guy that I followed. I think his name was Brian Starr. He was this guy who did like movie reviews and stuff out of Kentucky. It wasn't massive, but then he did this debt series. And I don't know if you've seen it, but what he did is he started off and he's like, I'm currently $43,000 in debt. So what he's doing is he was going through his collection. He was selling things because he had, like, when you saw him, there was crap everywhere in his house. Like every single wall had DVDs double deep, had figures, had different things like this. Like it was insane.
Yeah.
So he decided that he was going to get rid of debt by selling a whole heap of stuff. And so he did this series and it ran for about 180 days. He ended up getting debt free. So he sold on Whatnot, he sold on eBay, he sold hats and pins and different things like this that he had obviously collected that he was getting rid of.
Yeah.
And what was funny too, though, is when we were at day like 16, 17, the guy had already done it because he'd been sharing it on TikTok. And it's so funny that he had maybe 25% of 25 times the people on TikTok that he did have on Instagram. But he did it because the videos were already done, so it was just easier to move him over. And it blew up on Instagram as well, and he's doing all right for himself, but he's still got nothing on TikTok. And I don't know, TikTok is just this absolute beast that even if you don't lose anything else, people seem to use that. And I seriously can't understand it.
Well, I don't understand it. But to be fair, it's like because I didn't understand TikTok at first. But I tell you what, once you've downloaded it and once you've set your For You and you started scrolling a little bit and then you start following some things and then you see some stuff and then suddenly it's like, wow. Suddenly you realize you're invested and you don't know what happened. But it's like I found so many things like gym workouts, like good diet food, like because obviously I'll be on whatever low carb, when I was doing my low carb stuff. I was like, fuck, I'm hungry. I don't know what to eat. But then suddenly finding all these amazing recipes and I was trying them out. I was like, oh my God, yes. Because I found like a really good breakfast, like when I'm doing low carb, I found a really good breakfast wrap sandwich that I could make. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. It takes 5 minutes. And by God, it's actually quite filling. So, and it puts me on till lunch. I'm like, that's what you want. So it's like today, I found a carnivore. I found out how I can make a carnivore breakfast bagel. Yes. I was like, huh? I can have breakfast. I can have bread, but I can't have bread. It's not bread because he's using. I found this guy's also done a pizza recipe, and he uses chicken. So chicken, parmesan, egg, and it's all blitzed up together.
Oh yeah,
and basically
it's almost like a McDonald's chicken nugget that they turn into like a bread.
But it's like, and I was like, he adds baking powder and it'll puff up and he'll make it like a bun, and I'm like, oh my God, yes. I mean, I can have a bread. I can actually have a sandwich. But I've seen other people who've done carnivore bread, and I'm like, oh yes, I can actually make bread. So I'm looking forward to it. Because bread, honestly, bread's my weakness, especially garlic bread. I love garlic bread. Garlic bread's my weakness. Legit, I've told Elle, I said, can I apologise for March because I'll be staring at you while you're having dessert and just like envy. she's like, I'm just gonna kick you out. It's gonna be quick.
100%. Just kick him out. Al. Just go, here's dinner, and then being like, okay, you can go watch TV like a little kid. Send him out, and then sit there and eat a bowl of ice cream.
The fact that it's hilarious how I've actually looked up, because everyone says, the first week keep it simple, don't go mad and everything else, and then from the second week do all these fancy recipes because you will be bored by eating burgers and eggs by the end of it and steak and whatnot sort of thing.
Oh man, that's insane. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair though, like I'm on Twitter now because I decided to check it out, or X, whatever bullshit you want to call it. And there are people like full on losing their mind about this. Like this is even trending in Australia. Mind you, Australia still has it.
Yeah,
but I'm guessing New Zealand does as well.
No, we do as well. No, the fact is that the company is not going dark. It's only going dark in America.
But I'm guessing you could also use a VPN and get around it and
stuff
like that.
But that's kind of honestly.
But 90% of your users are probably going to not be able to afford that or not.
See, the way the ban works, from what I understand, is it's not illegal to have it on your phone. So it's not like they're going to wake up and it's off their phone sort of thing. It's basically, it's saying that it can't be supported anymore by US. So essentially Google Play and the iPhone and Apple and the iOS store, they can't support the app anymore. So i.e. you won't be able to...
Actually, he actually comes up with it. It says information update for TikTok. We regret that the US law banning TikTok will take effect on January 19th and force us to make services temporarily unavailable.
Yeah.
We're working to restore our services in the US as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
But it seems like every time you play a video, that pops up.
Okay.
So it looks like you can't even watch anything. You supposedly can't upload anything. Like it seems like it's like they're actually blocking you and stuff like that.
Okay.
Somebody has put here though. He goes, well, now that TikTok has banned me, I'm gonna go to OnlyFans. I'm like, that's a bit extreme, but yeah, there's a few videos of girls sitting there bawling their eyes out doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like when now the TikTok's banned, and it's them doing those stupid dances, crying like idiots, and I'm like, really?
Oh yeah,
like, really?
No, it's some of it is just weird and strange.
We have so much social media. Like, is this one really going to be? Like, is it really that big a deal? Well, like, there's so many other ones that do TikTok-esque thingos. What I find funny too, though, is like people talk to us and are like one of the guys who's a massive TikTok star in Australia, can't remember his name, but he was talking to this American, and he's like, "Do you know how much I make from TikTok?" And he's like, "Well, you've got 14 million or 140 million or whatever it was, I'm guessing you get at least $5 million a view based on averages about this is like this much. Because Australia, we can't monetize.
Yeah, because of the it's funny how the creator program only works for some European countries and America only, whereas like some of the Asian countries can't have it. So it's just it's really funny how it's really limited. Because when I heard about it, I thought, oh, that's quite a good idea. Maybe we could tap into that eventually. But then I had a look at the list of eligibility. I was like, "Oh, we're screwed because we're the arse end of nowhere. Because we're all the way down here, and apparently nobody has TikTok down here, according to you'd like to think of. It's like get out,
It's just weird though, because then you've got according to this, 1.86 million Australians it's currently trending with that amount.
Yeah.
The next one is PlayStation at 34.5k. We have a population of what, about I would say 20 million roughly. Maybe 18. That means that almost 10% of the population is talking about this stupid thing.
Yeah.
And you still won't give us a bloody our own bloody thing.
Well, honestly, New Zealand's probably lumped in with your numbers as well. It wouldn't be shocking. Yeah. I'll tell you that right now, because even though apparently we don't exist on some maps, which is really funny, all the way down here, because we get missed off the map more than anything. It's hilarious. But yeah,
remember wasn't there a map where? I think there was a map at IKEA where New Zealand got completely left off it.
Yes, no, it's it's happened for ages, sort of thing. It's like whenever a new map is released, so the first thing Kiwis do is, "Are we on the map?" And
part of me wanted to get that one without the New Zealand and then just send it to you. Just be like, "Yeah, I got your map of the world."
Got a map of the world. Apparently, you live in the ocean, brother. Send me GPS. Yeah. I'll send a boat.
I was gonna say, yeah, just shoot a flare. We'll come get you, mate.
No, we're just the hidden island. We're the hidden island where we only allow a select few in. That's why.
I was gonna say even Bermuda Triangle was on there, but no New Zealand. You're like, what the hell?
Oh. But yeah. So anyway, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to come out with it. Obviously, this week coming is going to be interesting. About given with all the stuff with Red Note and TikTok. So I am glued to me phone. It's really funny how someone did a. One of the content creators I follow is a comedian. He's been a well-established comedian for years. And he did a little skitty thing saying, when everyone else in the world said, oh, where someone's leaving, it's like, oh, bye. Yeah, don't worry about the Cheeto dust. Don't worry. It's all right. See ya. And he's like, oh, my God, can you believe them? Oh, my God. He's like, no, they don't get banned until another day. Oh, hey, hi. It's like, because everyone else in the world is like, yeah, this doesn't affect us. I don't know why you're all crying. It's like, no, we don't. It's so...
I do feel bad for people that are obviously making money from this and stuff. But obviously, I'm guessing they would be able to have, they've got to have other avenues other than just...
No offense. If they have set it up, if they've set them up in such a way, they are surely making money off all the other social medias as well.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Maybe not quite as much.
Maybe not quite as much.
But to be fair though, like people, they really want you and they can't get hold of you. They will eventually try to find one of the other ones. Like it's...
Yeah. I know, it's really funny how... because I saw it the other day. There's some creators, obviously in Australia and obviously in New Zealand, that I follow, and they've put up things because obviously most of their audience and where they're making their views and things from are from America. So they've put up saying, I've created this new Instagram. This is me, FYI. So you can find me. And it's like, oh my God, are you that desperate? But it's like, God forbid. It's like,
I mean, it would be hard though when you lose like 90% of your if you're mostly focused on TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff, and all of a sudden your TikTok goes down. I do think you're kind of like, whoa, maybe this is going to be. Yeah. I may need to actually be able to get some of this, but yeah, you're kind of like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it is fun. It is fun. As I said, just the entire Red Note situation. In fact, what's really funny how the best company that has made the best funny thing out of this is Duolingo. Okay, because they put up on Twitter saying, seriously, we've been round for we've been round for 15 years. And it's now that you decided that you want to pick up a second language. It's like,
yeah.
Because apparently because of course people are joining Red Note, which is all Mandarin speaking. So now they're picking up Duolingo to learn how to speak Mandarin.
It's so crazy.
So if anything, Americans are winning because now they're actually becoming properly bilingual, which is hilarious. It cracks me up. But I like how
it is funny. Like, and to be fair, like like I get that for a lot of people this is it, but it just scares me how big this is. Like, it seems like it's like when MySpace went down, when all these other things started to go down, where this one just seems like.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. No one batted an eyelid when MySpace was going down because Facebook took over. So no one batted an eyelid about MySpace.
And what's weird though is there's like 37 different things that do pretty much exactly what TikTok does.
Yeah. Oh no, I guarantee if I type in TikTok equivalent New Zealand, I guarantee there'll be a list of a mile long, sort of thing, which is completely fine as well. You know, that's not an issue, sort of thing. But the fact is that I do get why TikTok are fighting it as well. But the fact is that, no offense, I've seen these inquiry things with the senators and all that jazz, and it is just a bunch of dinosaurs all the time. They get an idea in their head, and you can't change their mind. In fact, occasionally the inquiries are really funny, but like I remember seeing the 6 major airlines for America being pulled up and finding out that they've actually been paying their staff to take your bag, which is perfectly legal to go onto the airplane with, and then making you check it in because they get a commission out of it. And
I've seen that. Wow. But it is weird though. Like these guys have no idea. Like I didn't realize that Singaporean one was the TikTok. I just remember seeing it, and I'm just like, these guys can't be like this.
It's like,
and then they're like,
surely they've had a brief of where the world map is.
And even like silly things like where they were asking like, so I can upload my images and stuff, and then you have access to my images. He's like, well, yes, because you're uploading the images onto that. Part of our terms and condition is that you have to agree to it, and that you're okay with us doing it. Oh, well, so but can you get access to all of our videos?
Oh, you can then get access to all my Wi-Fi and all my phone.
He's like, no. He goes, only if you choose to upload it. He's like, it's the same if you use your mobile data. Oh, so you can get access to all our mobile data. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that to access ours, you need the internet. So yes, if you connect to the internet, then yes, I have access to your internet because I'm needed for the app to work. And you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then the other inquiry that's doing the rounds at the moment is, have you seen the Woolworths one?
No.
The CEO of Woolworths there was an inquiry here because, so for anybody that's not from Australia, Coles and Woolworths are our major 2 supermarkets. They've actually weirdly gone from Countdown over in New Zealand and become Woolworths, which is still funny.
Well, apparently they were Woolworths, and then they came, because apparently it wasn't resonating, so then they became Countdown. But now they've gone back to Woolworths. But it's hilarious how everyone I know says, I'm just popping up to have to Countdown. No one calls it Woolworths apart from my son. My son, he's like, where are you going? I'm going to Countdown. He's like, no, it's Woolworths, Dad. It's like, yeah, and I don't care. I still call a bar in my hometown Chasers. Yeah. It's no longer Chasers. It hasn't been Chasers for probably about 15 years. It's still Chasers, okay? People will say to me, I was here last night. I'm like, where? I go, oh, yeah, Chasers. Oh, yeah, I know where that is. It's like... Yeah.
It's like somebody picked on me for calling it Spencer Street Station because now it's charged to Southern Cross. Like when I left for the UK, it was still Spencer Street. Then you built this awful thingo, and then you decided to change it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get sidetracked as we always do. So Woolworths and Coles have been told that pretty much what they've done is they've put up the prices slowly every few months. And then what they do is then they roll back the price and saying, oh, look, the new price is $6. I'm like, we used to pay $5 for it. You've recently put it up to $7. Now you've rolled it back.
Yeah.
Or they've put prices up and then they have a special every second week on it. So it goes back to roughly what the normal price is. So there's been this huge inquiry. And there's this great scene of the guy saying, how much did you get paid to the CEO of Woolworths? And he's this South African dude. And he's pretty much like, oh, it's on page 87 of our report. He's like, I understand that. I want you to verbalize it for me. He's like, well, all the information can be found on page 87. Obviously, he doesn't want to say it because it's being filmed and stuff.
Yes.
After about the 3rd or 4th time and threatening to hold him into contempt, he tells him. So last year he made $2.4 million. That's his salary. And then he's like, and was that how much you made? And he's like, well, there are some bonuses, some long and short-term bonuses and things like this that obviously falls into it. And he's like, how much was that? And again, the dude goes, 87. Page 87, page 80. And eventually the guy's like, he goes, I understand that it's in here, but I want you to actually tell us what it was.
Yeah.
$8.4 million is what he made. He made $6 million in Thingo based on like earning money and different things like that. And then we're sitting there going, why all of a sudden was eight months ago, my coffee was $4, now it's $7.50. And it's just like, oh my God. So yeah, that's the other inquiry that's going proper viral because this guy just doesn't want to answer. He's also had multiple interviews where people have called him out on stuff.
Oh my God, I can't believe
and he's walked out of and stuff. But like, yeah, like the CEO with bonuses is making $8.4 million. Why? Just why?
Well, especially no offense in Australia as well. I mean, not that you're all a third world country or anything like that. To be fair, the one problem I find it hilarious because it dominates the New Zealand thing is where how many people we've lost to Australia for whatever industry and blah blah blah. But the fact is that yes, you guys are throwing such numbers out to pay people. It's ridiculous. Because all I'm going is like, yeah, okay, it's all well and good you're doing this, but at some point the bubble is going to burst and it's not going to be pretty. It's like you can't keep doing it. But it's funny how it's like, oh, we're offering this much for this. It's like, stop offering. Just wind it back a little bit, yeah? Come on, calm down. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know how Australia's doing it.
But it is starting to get like, I mean, to be fair, we eat quite healthy. So we're not noticing it as much on fruit, vegetables, and meats and whole foods. But like, for example, these Jaffa cakes. These are my little treat. I know they're not the right ones, Jordan, but I love Jaffa cakes. They're chocolate and orange. For people that don't know what Jaffa cakes are, so it's like a
get an education. If you don't know what they are, get an education.
But they're delightful. They're kind of cookies, kind of like with a cakey base. So yeah, but they name it that because of obviously that. But these were, I think, $3.99. And you get like 12 in them or whatever. As you saw me, I've already eaten the box. But like,
yeah, but that's completely normal. It's normal like, to eat the box.
But like literally, not even maybe 6 months ago, I paid $1.99 for them. So they've already gone up like $1.20, and that's at Aldi.
Yeah, Jesus.
But the thing is, and then like you see some of this junk food and anything that's highly processed because wages now are a lot better here in Australia. Kind of what happened is they're passing it on. Plus, companies are making more because they can technically charge more. Because why not? Because we can take advantage of the situation and say, oh, but we're paying more. But they're kind of funny because they're like the pricing's gone up by like 30 to 40%. Wages have gone up like 10.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but we're covering costs of stuff. You're like, no, you're not. You've never been busier. Everybody's making record profits, and it's just laughable.
I don't do we're covering costs. It's like, yeah, okay, things are go up in price. Fine, things do. Okay, we all know it. Because there's more maintenance, there's oil, and the gas price goes up. We all understand that costs will rise. But when they're jumping up in quite large, you're like, nah, that's not a cost. Come on. That's cost plus some.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not passing on the savings, are you? But yeah, no, it does find funny. Anyway.
Like even when you see like they're like, yeah, we're passing up costs. I'm like, so then why all of a sudden have you made like almost $17 million in profit? They're like, oh, because we're more profitable now. But you told me that you have to put up prices because
of costs.
You need to cover costs. Yeah. So how are you doing it and then doing this? And they're just like, but no, it's because we're obviously selling more. You're like, but then that means costs would technically lower, wouldn't it? No, and you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah. No, it is just funny. But anyway.
All right, man. TikTok is all over my Twitter. Like, I don't know if what's his name? Elon went, Trumpy boy, my little mate Trumpy. Can you do me a favor? Donny boy, can you get rid of TikTok because I want people to come back to TikTok?
Twitter, yeah.
And to be fair though, there's a lot of people on TikTok ranting about the bans. There's a lot of I feel like it's just like, oh my God, guys, like shit.
Yeah, no, it is just. I mean, to be fair, I feel like as I said when they said, "Oh, you can keep TikTok and stay up, but providing you sell it to an American company." As I said, that's the reason why all the tech boys, Zuckerberg and Elon were lined up going, "Oh, how much?"
Yeah, but then when they said 300 billion, they went 30 billion.
Of course, and
like, not that
and of
much.
course they backed off because they don't want to pay that. They want to pay $1 million and make $3 billion. That's what because that's their mindset. And
no, it's $30 million according to this. He said that it would get to. According to this, it's like $30 million before I would consider selling it.
Yeah,
which means it would have to be over 30 billion.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't even consider that. But still, it's just funny. It just cracks my ass up, sort of thing. But yeah. So anyway, we hopefully America does get back online with TikTok because they are raging about it, and otherwise the Chinese government is going to steal all the social security numbers.
Like, seriously, like I must say, like the fact that they're going to this Chinese company that's like a clone of TikTok to mess with them to go, okay, now ban this, you bitches, because this is actually what's happening.
Yeah.
But that I think's funny. But when
It
you
is.
feel like when they say that they're actually they're actually putting their social security numbers on it, I'm like,
I'm not saying
God.
all of them are doing it. Some of them
no,
are,
but a number of them.
But it is like seriously. I get the fu, fu guys. I get why they're doing it, but damn, there's steps too far. All right, there are steps too far. But anyway, right, what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it up right there because I'm going to give Des a short video to edit. I would talk for another 10 minutes, but we're going to be good this week.
You're allowed to, man.
Nah. I'm about to say. Plus, I can also hear banging going on. I can't tell if it's banging from child, banging from wife, or banging from my father, who's visiting us at the moment. So
that's right. Yes. So it could be all of them together.
It could be all of them together. So I just need to go figure what the hell's going on. But anyway. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you do like, share, subscribe. Everything does help with all the algorithms, blah, blah, blah.
Follow us on TikTok.
No. To be fair, in the last video, I didn't even promote TikTok. I didn't even promote it with the pop-up or anything like that. Because we've been so dark. I've been so behind on that sort of thing.
Because I don't even have TikTok. So for everybody watching, I was shocked. I don't actually have TikTok, but it still makes me laugh. Like,
it's hilarious how
Singaporean one. If you haven't done it, just go Google TikTok because it's just like, and he's like, oh, so I fought for my country. Yes, I did. And then he's like, so what part of Singapore? Like, what part of China are you from? Like, I'm part of Singapore.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's not the same, and it is hilarious.
Stupid. Like, it does show the education system in America is not so great. But anyway, so please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more content for season 4. This is episode 2. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.
Laters.